Hope you're well. I wanted to go on live to share some of my thoughts about new and aspiring managers. So I've been doing a set of 60-second videos. So I'm in a challenge. I'm in a group with Susan Payton. Payton. This is her book. I don't know if you know Susan. She's an excellent book, Business of Stories. So highly recommend it. So I'm in her group. And then a couple of weeks ago, we were challenged to do 1 minute, 90 working days, 1 minute videos. So we had to record just under 1 minute, so around about 59-second video of something relevant for something that we do. Now, I've just launched the online academy for new managers, new and aspiring managers, and it's a growth academy. It's a 12-month academy. So obviously my videos are around about new and aspiring managers, and these are my thoughts, or some of my thoughts, and I wanted to sum them up in this live for these videos that I've been putting out there. So for me, there's one word that new and aspiring managers need to put into their daily routine, and that's restraint. Now, I've noticed, I don't know about you, I've noticed new managers, when they take on the role, they race in, they want to try and change everything, they want to stamp their authority on everything. And really the key word is restraint, and just back away a little bit. You know, they want to set up meetings within the first week and get to know their people. Yes, you need to get to know your people. Yes, you need to talk to people, but you don't set up these meetings, and I'll explain why in a mo. And I was thinking about this authority thing. So they come in and they stamp their authority on it. And I was thinking, you know, these little drawers, you've got a little drawer underneath your desk, and it's that top drawer, not the little one where you put your pens, but that little one, the little one on the top. And usually it's about, that deep sort of thing. Now, I want you to imagine that drawer is full of authority. Imagine authority as a physical thing that you can get in there, like candy floss or cotton wool. You can grab a bit of authority and take it with you into your working day. So think about that drawer, think about that authority, and think about a new and aspiring manager. And what happens is, what I've noticed with certain people is that they go in and they're throwing their authority around. They're chucking this candy floss, cotton wool, this authority all over the place. And when they actually need the authority, when they need to go into that drawer and actually get some authority for a difficult conversation or for managing whatever situation that they've got to manage, there's none left. There is no authority left, because people are kind of looking at this new manager thinking, yeah, well, they just shout, they just rant, they just rave. So they have no authority left. And I think that's a key thing for new managers to understand. You don't need to go in and stamp your authority over everything. People know that you are the manager. People know that you have been promoted. They're just waiting to see what happens, type thing. But it's worth bearing in mind, another video that I did is that there's 4 categories of team members. Team members, they sit in these 4 categories. The first category, they're the ones that feel a little bit put out because you've got the job. Potentially they went for the job as well. And I've seen this, and I've had this within my own teams, and that has to be managed by the manager's manager, the new manager's manager. So these people are feeling a little bit aggrieved because you've got the job. They might think that they know more than you, and they could do. I mean, I remember when I started out as a manager, I had this power struggle with this chap called Ian. He was a big guy, and he knew more about the job than I did, but I'd been taken on. I was actually a trainee manager, not his manager, but it was this power struggle that we had, and that had to be managed. And I was the new manager, so I had to manage it. And eventually, without racing in, I did manage it. So that's the first one. And as you can see, my little pot of those people was just one person. So it doesn't have to be a lot of people within that team. The second group of people, they're the office yes people. They're the ones that can use you for their own growth, for their own means. And that can be a little bit of a pain, because they're kind of or whatever it is, because they're the office yes people. That can be a little bit of pain. Their intentions are solid, but it's the way that they do it. It's just a little bit of a distraction. So watch out for those people as well. The third ones, they put the new manager to the test early. They put the new manager They had questions to the new manager that they think that the new manager probably won't know the answer to, and they're doing it to watch the new manager squirm, which is a little bit, I suppose, kind of like bullying. But they're there to watch the new manager squirm. They're there to see if the new manager will answer the question with a load of BS. And just make it up, or will they go, "What? That's a good question. What I'll do is I'll go and find out for you, and then I'm learning at the same time." That would be the way to manage that one. And then the fourth category of people, they're the people that just want to wait and see. They've got nothing to prove. They don't dislike the manager. They don't like the manager type thing because they don't know the manager. So they are just waiting to see. And this is where this first meeting is key. Don't do it in the first 2 weeks, first week or the first 2 weeks. And I know lots of new managers, that's what they want to do because that's what they think that they have to do. For me personally, I think it's key to hold a meeting within the first 60 days. So not the first couple of weeks, but within the first 60 days. And what this does, it opens up the channels of communication. Now, this meeting it's not it's an informal chat. That's what it is. It opens the lines of communication. You are now learning about your team members' goals, what it is, their aspirations of the future within the company, and also, do they have any concerns? You're building up this trust that you are there to chat with. They're not going to open up the floodgates. Do you tell your manager everything about you? Probably not. So they're not going to open the floodgates on this first meeting. This is an unhurried discussion. This is not a timed discussion. So if you're thinking, I don't know, half an hour, then plug in 45 minutes to an hour so that it's an unhurried discussion, so that they're there and you are building up this comfort zone, so that your team members feel comfortable coming to you and having a chat in the future. You're laying the foundations for the future, but it's key that you try to find out their goals for the future within the business, and also whether they've got any concerns. In the academy, in one of the modules, I talk about the most commonly used word in the English language. And what do you reckon it is? Put it in the comments if you're watching. What do you think that the most commonly used word is in the English language? And a lot of people will put no, and a lot of people will put yes, and a lot of people will put whatever it is, or whatever they're going to put. What do you think it is if you're watching on either now live or on replay? What do you think is the most commonly used words? I'm going to tell you in a second. So the most commonly used word in the English language, according to my research, is I. People are interested in themselves. They're not necessarily interested in you. So the new manager doesn't need to be going there and trying to impress them. They need to impress on them that they are interested in their goals, their future goals, and their concerns. But people are interested in themselves. And the new manager, I used to do a game with my new managers when they started. It was called Taking the Eye Out of Conversation. And what I would do is I would tax them a beer. So every time I heard the word I, because we're talking about themselves, then they owed me a pint of Hobgoblin. And I love Hobgoblin. So it's all about, if they were asked a question, obviously they can say, well, I have such and such, or whatever it is, if they're asked a question. But if they're just talking about themselves, then they're going to get taxed a beer. But the point is they need to be talking about their team members. Like I said, their goals, their future aspirations, and any concerns. Another one of the most popular questions I get from the new and aspiring managers, actually in the group, because there's some in the group now. I've only just launched it, but there's some in the group sort of working through it now, is how do I manage friends and family? Or can I manage my friends and family? So you're a co-worker and then you sort of get promoted up to team leader or to manager. And how's that done? And that's a relationship that is difficult to manage. I've been there myself. I asked for advice when I was sort of starting out as a manager from my mentor or my trainer, the chap that was training us, and his advice was, if they are real friends, then they would appreciate that you are the manager. You need to have a sit down chat with these people. You don't have to necessarily wait for the 60 days to be up. This could be a quicker meeting with friends and family, and explain your expectations, get their expectations from you as their manager, so that you are appreciating their needs. Because obviously if you remove a need at work, then you're going to get conflict even with your friends. So it's just by saying, this is how I'm going to manage, and this is how I see our relationship at work, this is how I see our relationship down the pub, or in the or at the football, or whatever it is, you know, when they're away from work. So it's the expectations at work and the expectations at home. So, for example, if you are working with another half, because I have for a lot of my working career, then you need to set some boundaries about how long you're going to talk about work at home. And we set the boundaries of 10 minutes. And again, my mentor, my trainer, he gave me some cracking advice. And he said, listen, if you're really talking about work, and you can't stop yourselves talking about work, and it's denting your relationship. I'm not saying you do this with friends and family, that would be weird. This was with my other half. And then what he said was, if your other half is constantly talking about work and you need that to stop because it's, like I said, it's damaging the relationship, just strip off. And that's what he said. He said, just strip off. Make sure the curtains are closed, obviously. So just strip off. He says, you're either going to have an interesting afternoon, or you're going to get laughed at. And I thought that was amazing advice. I'm not going to share any more than that. But I thought that was amazing advice. But what you need to do with your friends is obviously not down the pub you're stripping off, but what you need to do with your friends is just set that parameter. Listen, my expectation is we can chat about work for 10 minutes, but don't ask me about people that I'm managing. Don't ask me about what sort of private situations, because obviously if they are a good friend, then they will appreciate that. And that is my advice. And I can help people, these new and aspiring managers that are in the academy, I can then help them plan out their meeting with their friends and family, and then go and have that chat. So that was it. I wanted to sum up the meetings. Here's all my notes that I've been doing. Those are 5 videos that I've been doing my 60-minute videos on. I'm going to shoot another 5 for this week, and then I'm going to launch those. If you've seen them, hopefully you've liked them. I actually got stopped in the street the other day, which was awesome, and said, "I've seen your videos." I know the person, but they've never commented or anything like that. So if you've seen them, then let me know that you've seen them. Which bit of this video do you think resonates with you and resonates with your new and aspiring managers? And if you want some information about this online growth academy for new and aspiring managers, I've put 100% money back guarantee on it. I don't think there's any trainer around who's got money back guarantee on their training. This here will change the way that you or your new and aspiring managers build your team. I am that confident. There are terms and conditions, obviously, and that's all in the T's and C's sort of policies, but there's nothing hidden or anything like that. You've got to do the work. But if you do the work, I guarantee, 100%, I guarantee that it will change the way that you manage your team, and the way that you manage yourself as well. There's 12 modules. It's over 12 months. There's management skills, leadership skills, time management skills, communication skills, mentoring skills, recruitment skills. There's all sorts, every single soft skill just about represented within this 12-month academy for you or your new and aspiring managers to learn. Everything that I've learned pretty much about management and leadership over my 20 career year of building businesses, owning businesses, managing businesses, marketing businesses, training in hundreds and hundreds of businesses throughout the UK. I've been over to mainland Europe as well. So if you want any more information about this, then do send me an email at support@adrianclose.com, and thanks for listening.